This has resulted in huge number of young girls, moving out of the country to go into prostitution and work in plantation and other purposes of human trafficking. So,
Honorable, so what you're saying is that there's a need to address the gender imbalance that we currently have in our society.
Very well. As early as 2016, when I was the chairperson, I was a former chairperson for International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, in Edo State. There was a conference where all stakeholders were gathered. And the theme of that conference was as it then was, women representation, a catalyst for global development. And what were we talking? We were calling stakeholders to meeting to discuss how women can be included in the politics of Edo State. But sad enough, I also had a program I did that time in collaboration with National Democratic Institute, NDI. It's an international body. Votes not fight, election not be war. VOW is stop violence against women in election. Because we looked at it, why are women not contesting in election? We had requested that 35% affirmative action that they have been using to sing in Nigeria is a policy. A policy is just a guideline. It is not a law. We've been asking them to make the 35% affirmative action a legal requirement, a constitutional provision, so that whether women go for the midnight meetings or not, women will be allowed to contest for 35% of the position. But what the argument we get is that power is taken by force. So we've asked them, can two unequal, fight for something? Because the customary law has disadvantaged us. We may have not been in the political sphere. It's like a dwarf and a giant. You are putting something, on top of the roof. You ask a dwarf, you ask a giant to go up there to pick that item. That is not equity. So we as a people, we can see the insecurity challenges we are having in the country now. I can clearly say, because women have been excluded from governance in this country, because women feel pain when their community is in trouble, when their children. Look at the Northeast. Women have been adopted and kept hostage. They have been sexually assaulted, raped. These are all crime against humanity, and international law, regional laws and state laws, they are against all of this. But who is protecting women and children? So
how do you think we can address this imbalance, this gender imbalance or not?
Yes, we can address this imbalance. Like I've said, we need to make constitutional provision for the 35% affirmative action for women. In that case, it means women 35, for example, at the National Assembly, Senate, and House of Rep, women can contest for 35%, of the space at the House of Assembly, at the local government level. Look at Rwanda. That's another African country where women have attained up to about 60% in elective position. So if